or squeaky belt on your car. Alright, so whenever diagnosing belt noise issues, the first thing I do is to take a close look at the belt. And I look and make sure that the belt is nice and dry and that it's not contaminated with any other type of fluid. Because if you have a leak from a water pump or power steering pump, which is back there on this car, those leaks, when they get on the belt, they can make for a very noisy belt. Next, it's time to find out whether our belt noise is due to not enough tension or too much tension on our drive belt, or whether it's due to an alignment issue between the pulleys, either due to a bad bearing or damage to one of these pulleys. So next you want to grab yourself a spray bottle and fill it up with water. Next, with the engine running, you want to spray the belt with some water, and if the noise goes up, you have a tension issue. But if the noise goes away and comes back, or goes away for a while and then starts to come back slowly, then you more than likely have an alignment issue. So if you have tension issues, the first thing you should check is the condition of the belt, because a worn belt can stretch over time and then start slipping off these pulleys, causing you to hear that screeching noise from your engine. And as you can see, the condition of this belt is in really good condition. That's only because I replaced this a few days ago. So the next culprit is the tensioning mechanism on this belt. Now on this car, the tensioning mechanism is adjustable. Here's our lucky nut for our tensioner, and here's our tensioning bolt. As we unscrew this, we apply less tension, and as we tighten this, we apply more tension to this belt. But that's not always the case. See, most cars these days come with a tensioner like this. This is spring-loaded, and it's continuously applying tension to your drive belt or serpentine belt. Now what happens is, over time, the spring inside here loses its power, causing it to not be able to apply enough tension to your belt, therefore causing you to hear that belt noise. Alright, so back to the car. Since on this car we verified that our belt is new, so therefore what's left is the tension that's applied to this belt. And as you can see, this belt is way too loose, but I only did this on purpose so I can demonstrate this for you guys. But now I'm just going to apply some tension to this belt by this adjusting bolt, and then start the car so you guys can see that it fixed our problem. Alright, that should do it. Alright, great, but what if you sprayed water on the belt and the noise went away and then started to come back slowly? Alright, so if that's the case, then that's due to an alignment issue. And an alignment issue is caused by either a bad bearing inside one of these pulleys or a bad or damaged pulley itself. Alright, so on this belt, for example, this belt is running off our harmonic balancer, which is back there. This is our air compressor, and here's our alternator. Now if you look down on this belt exactly, this belt should be going around these three different pulleys exactly straight. One of these pulleys should not be out a little bit more than one of the other ones, because then that would cause this belt to wobble, causing you to hear that noise. So first thing you want to do is to do a close visual inspection of all the pulleys running off that drive belt, and look for obvious signs of damage to the pulley, similar to what we see here. Something else you can do is to use a straight edge or a ruler and put it on one pulley and then run it across all the other pulleys and see whether one pulley is further out or in than the other ones. As you can see, there's no such space in here to do that, but the next step after that is to simply remove the drive belt and check each pulley for signs of play or damage. Alright, so after you remove your belt, you want to go around and spin each pulley and make sure there's no excessive noise, there's nothing funny that stands out. But not just that, you also want to grab them and wobble each pulley back and forth. There should be almost no movement, but as you can see, there is some movement in this pulley, and that's because there are bearings inside of these pulleys. See this little bearing? This is what I'm talking about. When these go bad, a lot of times they allow for extra play, causing this pulley to wobble, therefore causing you to hear that belt noise. And on a lot of V6 and V8 engines, you'll also have an idler pulley for your serpentine belt. And if you do find out that your belt noise is due to an alignment issue, your problem is usually solved between replacing one of these two. And also I should mention that a bearing noise is not always accompanied by a belt noise. And a bearing noise a lot of times is actually a clicking or rattling or a clacking noise, depending on who's listening. And I'll put a link to a video I did recently on this side of the screen for you guys to check out. That video is on how to find different engine noises coming from your car, but you'll see a good example of what a bad bearing could sound like in that video. And that's all there is to it, folks. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more like it, but also consider checking out some of these other related videos. I'll put up on this side of the screen so you can click on them. There'll also be links in the description box. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.